As Nigerians count down to the 2023 general elections, youths hold conference to ensure active participation in politics and governance. Governor Bala Mohammed has said that the People's Democratic Party (PDP) lost the last presidential election due to manipulations by the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in conjunction with the election umpire INEC and security operatives. Hello and thanks for joining us on the program. It is Talking Politics on your digital-first Pan-African News Network 2S Television. I'm Osazeh Sesele, reaching you live here in Abuja, the nation's capital city. Let's get started tonight on the program. Governor Bala Mohammed has said that the People's Democratic Party (PDP) lost the last presidential election due to manipulations by the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in conjunction with electoral umpire INEC and security operatives. The Bauchi State Governor's assertion stems from a review of the 2019 elections by the opposition party. In the last election, President Muhammadu Buhari of the APC won his main challenger, Atiku Abubakar, of the PDP with over 3 million votes. However, Mr. Mohammed says what transpired was maneuvered.
We have submitted the report, and the report has contained all the reasons. Part of it is that, as you said, the main thrust is to make sure that we get level playing field as a in the competition, and the general impression or feelings within the party and within the country that we actually won the election, and we lost to a lot of fraud, to a lot of manipulations, and that is perpetrated either by the umpire or by the electoral by the security agency.
The governor, who also serves as chairman of PDP's 2019 Elections Review Committee, stated that a full report has been presented by his team. Ahead of the 2023 general elections in the country, Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari says southern Nigeria should produce the next president. President Muhammadu Buhari, contested under the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC), swept to power in 2015 after defeating ex-president Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Buhari was also re-elected in 2019 after beating PDP's Atiku Abubakar and will complete his constitutionally mandated tenure in 2023. But Masari has said that a non-northerner should succeed President Buhari in 2023. Let's take a listen to Governor Masari.
If you ask me, I will, as a person, think we should move the presidency to the southern part of the country. You know, the constitution of the country and that of the party. So those who prefer to live by the constitution, you cannot say they are wrong. But this is my honest opinion.
Governor Nyesom Wike has said he will not rejoice over the approval of $1.5 billion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery. The Rivers State Governor has said it is not the first time the federal government is making promises, many of which he says are yet to see the light of day. This week, the Federal Executive Council approved the plan by the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to rehabilitate the Port Harcourt refinery with $1.5 billion. In reaction to the development, Governor Wike said the news was nothing to make anyone jubilate. According to him, promises of this nature are only pointers to the fact that elections are around the corner. Let's take a listen to Governor Nyesom Wike.
If it is going to work, I have told you here that first of all, it will include a lot of economic activities. There will be a lot of employment for the people of the state. And so you'll be happy. But I'm saying that we have had these promises, and nothing has happened. So I don't want to begin to sing hallelujah. I say let us wait and see, based on the approval and the statement made by the Minister of State Petroleum, who hold him accountable to it. You know, even before the government came into being, they have promised a lot of things. And later, if they come up to say, well, because of these challenges and that challenges. And we're going into 2023. So many promises will be made. So many approvals will be made. So don't just sing hallelujah.
Let's get into our conversation for today. Some youths have come together to say that more young people need to get engaged in the political process and, of course, get more interested in governance. The Democracy Youth Roundtable convener speaks to us on the program today. Let's talk to Mr. Desmond Agboala, convener of Democracy Youth Roundtable, and Talking Politics. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Talking Politics on the Digital First Pan-African News Network. I had a one-on-one interview with the convener of Democracy Youth Roundtable, Mr. Desmond Agboala. You're welcome to the show, Mr. Desmond.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
All right. Very recently, you had a press conference. The Democracy Youth Roundtable had a press conference. Can you tell us what you people set out to achieve, your organization set out to achieve with that press conference?
Actually, it was not a press conference. It was a conference organized by the Democracy Youth Roundtable team, which we've been doing for the past 3 years now. We've been trying to sensitize the youth on how to get involved in our democratic setting. But we can see that a lot of youth these days don't bother about getting involved in politics. All what they know is go to social media, start tweeting, start talking about different people, different politicians, different parties and all that. So we look at it that there's something that have to be done about this. And we came up together and we came up with this idea of sensitizing the youth as we're getting towards 2023, which is another election year. So we came together to see how we could bring the youth, we could sensitize them, bring them together, let them see a reason why they need to participate actively, you know, not just contesting alone, but participating actively in politics so that the future of our country can be in our hands. We are the youth of the country, for God's sake. So the future of the country must be in our own hand. And we have the population, so we look at it that why don't we come together and be having this conference, sensitize the youth, and let them get involved in the democratic setting in Nigeria. And over time, we've been doing this project. We've been to the southwest part of the country. We've been to the north central. Very soon, we'll be going to the southeast part of the country, all in the name of sensitizing the Nigerian youth about getting involved in the democratic setting in Nigeria.
Now, this question of getting young people to be involved in politics and governance has been there for a very long time. From the time that Yaga Africa pushed the Not Too Young to Run bill, and even from the NSAS protest till this time, there's been this clamor for young people to step up, you know, and come to the table and make demands of the leaders and make requests for accountability. Now, do you think that our young people are really ready? Because a lot of people are looking at the young people to step up, particularly in this coming elections. Do you think, from your own assessment, that the young people are ready to get into politics and governance in Nigeria? Do you think so?
Oh yeah, very well. And I'm very, very certain that the young people are ready. Considering, if you look at the theme from 2015 down to 2019, you see that a lot of young people have been coming into governance, and they've been doing well, you know. And not only that alone, after just the way you mentioned earlier on, after the NSAS protest, which the youth brought out the consciousness of the youth that something has to be done. We can't continue like this. We can't just leave everything to the hands of all all these leaders alone. There must be a change. There must be a transitional change in the whole thing. A lot of youth now come to the consciousness that, okay, we have the population, we have everything. We constitute almost about 70% of the population of people that vote. It's not the old people that vote in Nigeria. If you look at the statistics from the INEC and other organizations, it's the young people that vote. So if we have the population and we have the will, Nigerian youths are very intelligent, they are very vibrant, they do a lot of things, and they are making a lot of impact in different areas, businesses, in other areas. So if we can be making impact in all these areas, entertainment and other areas, if we can be making impact in all these areas, why don't we channel that energy into politics? And we get credible people that can lead this country. A lot of our leaders right now, they started from a very young age. General Gowon, retired General Gowon, became president at the age of 29 or 32. You know, same for the President Ibrahim Muhammadu Buhari, and a whole lot of other people. They got this thing at a very young age, and they are still there till today. So why don't we see a way whereby we can create a change within our own sector and see how the youth of Nigeria can create a change and bring out the youth and see how our future can be in our hands, and from there we'll get it done.
Now, Mr. Desmond, sorry to interject there, but then a lot of people have also said that if you compare politics before this time and now, it's two different ball games. Some people have also said that the young people of today are too poor to get involved in politics. Some of them are even yet to get their daily livelihood set up already, and then they want to think. Of course, you agree with me that in Nigeria, getting into politics is quite expensive.
Sure.
Now, do you think that young people in Nigeria has the financial capacity, or do you think that it's not just about finance, it's about capacity, it's about competence, and about having the character to be in public office?
Thank you very much for that question. And you've answered it all. It's all about competence. It's all about the ability, you know. In 2019, let me refer to that. I know a lot of friends that went into politics then. They don't have all the money in the whole world, you know. And at the end of the day, in fact, they don't even belong to the two prominent parties in Nigeria today, the PDP and the APC, you know. They came from somewhere, and the youth believe in them, the people believe in them, they canvass for votes, they are very credible. People believe that if they get there, they will deliver. And behold, many of them, they won. Even in National Assembly, I know about 2, 3 of them that won. I don't need to mention names, you know, from different parties, apart from the 2 major parties. So I look at it that if the youth can come together under one umbrella, you know, and we project our image, we have the capability, we have everything that it takes to get there. So I believe with or without finance, it's not all about, and let me shock you with this. The kind of politics we are going to be getting into very shortly, it's not going to be all about money again. It's not going to be all about how big or how influential you are again. People want to see capacity. People want to see someone that have the competence, someone that have the mind of the youth at heart. Because the youth, they have woke up. From just the way you mentioned the other time, from the NSAS protest, everybody now know that we need to choose our leader ourselves. And the days of you vote, the vote does not count, those days are gone.
Sorry to cut you. How can you certainly prove that those days are gone? Because trust me, one of the reasons young people have lost faith in this government is because they do not believe in the elections. If you ask an average young person, they will tell you that my vote is not going to count, and that is why I am not going to vote. Now, you said something earlier that the young people need to come together. Yeah. And you're doing a great job in terms of sensitizing young people to say it is not all about money politics. It's about getting people that have character, that have competence. What do you think can be done for young people to come together, one? And then secondly, what can also be done to change the mindset of young people that the politics we are going to be playing from now forward doesn't really have to do with money, and that their votes is going to count whenever they head to the ballot?
Yeah, and that's why we've been clamoring for the electoral reform. You know, we've gone to the National Assembly, we've submitted our communique to them, because in most of our conferences we'll be having nothing less than about 20, 30,000, 50,000 youths coming together. That's why we came up with this idea that we've been working on clamoring for a reform in our electoral process, of which we hope by the grace of God before 2023 that will be done, and that will give us a clearer picture that our vote will surely count. And not only that, we've been trying to sensitize the youth over time that during the time of the election, after the voting, you follow it down to the collation center, from the collation center to the local government, to the state government, down to the national level. We will follow everything, we monitor everything, and there's not going to be changes again. All those things that, okay, maybe the vote will be small at the polling center, before you get to the collation center, the vote is rising, those days are gone. We are going to a level whereby the youth, the consciousness has been woken up, and we know that if we follow all these things up, our vote will surely count. You could believe that we proved a lot of points during the NSAS protest, you know, of which we were part of. But at a certain time, we look at it that we need to come to the table. We don't need to get to the streets alone, you know, and that is why Democracy Youth Roundtable, we've come to a table whereby we dialogue, and after our dialogue, we submit a communique to the National Assembly, to the federal government, and to the relevant authorities, both foreign institutions as well.
Okay, before I let you go, Mr. Desmond, let's take a look at the 2023 elections. It's just about 2 years to go, about a few months, if you want to put it that way.
Sure.
What do you think is the most important thing young Nigerians can begin to do? Because we need to change the dynamics of our democracy.
Sure.
Now, what do you think that young Nigerians, as somebody who's been working in the space with young people to see that we entrench true democracy, what do you think in the next 24 months young Nigerians can begin to do to ensure that we get it right in the next coming elections, particularly in instilling leaders who are really going to be there for the welfare of the people?
One, We need to try as much as possible to continue desensitization. We need to get to the grassroots. We need to let our people know that 2023 will not be the way it has always been. A lot of people will say, forget about it. It's going to be the normal way. You know, a lot of youths on social media will say, forget about it. They're not interested in politics. All what they're interested in is just their daily livelihood, and that is all. But we are trying to let them know that no, that is not the way it is. The consciousness, we have to wake it up. We have to believe that our vote will count, and we have to see a way whereby we'll get credible youths that are doing well in position of authority. We might not get it right at the national level yet, but let's start from the grassroots. If we start from the grassroots, I believe one day, definitely, we are going to get it right at the national level.
Thank you so much, Mr. Desmond Agboala, convener of Democracy Youth Roundtable.
Thank you very
You've
much.
shared quite a very interesting and insightful thoughts with us today on Talking Politics.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, that's my conversation with Mr. Desmond Agboala. He is the convener of Democracy Youth Roundtable. That's where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Talking Politics. Do well to visit our website, www.tstvnetwork.com, for more episodes of Talking Politics. Follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TSTV Network. I'm Musa Zeh. It's excellent. Thanks for watching.